Hi subscribers, welcome back to my channel. My name is David Parnell, and today I'm just going to review all of the temperature history from the 2018-2019 school year in Phoenix. Remember, last video I did the 2019-2020 school year, but this video I'm going to do the 2018-2019 school year. Alright, so it looks like the first day of school was August 6th, and that's also my birthday. And it looks like another hot start to the year. 114 degrees. 91 for the low as well, so not really much relief at night. That's actually a morning low, and then it heats up to 114 in the daytime. So looking at August 6th to the 10th, it does cool down to below average temperatures, see, because of monsoon storms coming in. I think we had a monsoon storm on the 8th, 9th, and 10th in the evening. So that really plummeted the temperatures to below average. So most of the high temperatures were going down to about 100. And then the low temperatures for August was pretty pleasant, but muggy. And that was the 70s. The second week, the 13th to the 17th, high temperatures are staying below average. This school year had a lot of below average temperatures, as you'll see later on. Look, there was even a high temperature of 98 because of cloud cover, keeping the temperatures under the triple digits. And then low temperatures would be in the 80s. Not really too much monsoon storms that week. But then going to following week, the 20th to the 24th of August, it does get pretty toasty on the 20th. And then monsoon storms hit on the 21st. I woke up and it was thundering and lightning, and I heard a long thunderclap. As soon as I woke up, might have even woke me up, I don't know. And then the 23rd also had some strange weather. The 23rd, in the evening, around 7 o'clock in the evening, had some violent thunderstorms and rain showers as well. I had just the light because it was starting to get a little blurry, but so mostly average, maybe a little above, I don't know. And then the 27th to the 31st, that's around average for August, not too bad, 105. And then low temperatures mainly in the low 80s. And then Labor Day, September 4th to the 7th. Just remember, I never count weekends or holidays here. So I do not count Labor Day. So this week was not really too bad for early September as well. It got above average, I think, a little bit by the end of the week. And high temperatures in the hundreds. So still not too bad for early September. Low temperatures in the low 80s. And then the 10th to the 14th, that's when it started to heat up a little bit. It was getting a little hot. The monsoon storms also was away from Arizona. Didn't really get too much monsoon storms here. Just remember, monsoon season is from June 15th to September 30th in Phoenix. In Arizona, actually. All of Arizona. So, a little above average here, but still not too bad. It can happen in September, you know. I mean, so almost 110, not quite, and then that's the end of the week. They did have to issue an excessive heat warning on the 14th because as it gets later in the season, the excessive heat criteria starts dropping a lot more. So instead of it being 112 or 113 or whatever in July before the excessive heat warning starts. It starts at around 108, 109 area in September because it's supposed to be a little cooler than that, but that's only one day. No, I think they had to issue it for the 15th as well. That's on a Saturday. That's not on here when it was well above average, but still, at least it is not constantly above average, as you can see here. September 17th to the 21st, it rained on Wednesday, so that's what kept the temperatures down. In fact, that low temperature of 74 might have happened in the afternoon when it was raining. No thunderstorms out of that feature, but the high temperature of 92 I think happened in the morning. So it got cooler as the day went on, which is really good for September. I've been enjoying that school year. So, alright, this is what is above average. Remember, the average high temperature drops under 100 degrees after September 17th. So, this is going to be a little bit above average, but you'll wait to see what happens. 102, 100, 104, 105. That's about 10 degrees above average by September 28th. And then it looks like the low temperatures are in the upper 70s and low 80s. But do you want to see what happens the next week? Its temperatures would just nosedive for the first week of October. Look at that weather. 70s, 80s, 60s, and 70s for lows. And all of this is because Hurricane Rosa, Phoenix, and most of southwest Arizona got the remnants of Hurricane Rosa that came in here. This is actually the wettest October in history in Phoenix, Arizona. So, yep. This is where I started to really enjoy the weather. Sometimes it can be very hot in October still in Phoenix, but this is what I can enjoy. And that's actually still first semester of the school year. Fall break is the 8th to the 12th, so I don't have that here. And much cooler temperatures happen that week too. I just won't show them at the moment. Here's the 15th to the 19th, way below average still. 70s. There was even a 69 for the high there. And that's because of more clouds, and I think some parts of Phoenix might have had a light rain shower. I'm not really for sure if it rained at all. I don't think it rained at Sky Harbor or anything, but it went up to the 80s again. But the following week, the 22nd to the 26th of October, it's a little hot. That might be a little above average as it's going into late October. But on the 23rd, there was another storm coming in here that brought lightning and thunder and heavy rain. So that 89 for the high happened before the storms hit. I just don't know what time it happened. The storms hit in the afternoon. It was actually clear sky in the morning, but the storms hit in the afternoon and just cleared out right away. So it was a passing storm, pretty much. 29th to November 2nd. So it's going to be a little below average. Not by much, though. I think the 29th is above average, but that drops. And then low temperatures start to get in the 50s. The 5th to the 9th is a dry week as we end our wettest October ever. Now it's going to be a bit dry again, but see, those temperatures are not nearly as bad as what I'm experiencing in 2020 in early November. Look at that. Low 80s and then low temperatures in the upper 50s. So going out to 13th to the 16th. The 12th was a no school because of observation of Veterans Day. So high temperatures were in the 60s again. Low temperatures were mainly in the mid 40s to low 50s. And then here's the 19th to the 21st, which leads into Thanksgiving. That might be a bit above average. Low temperatures were around average or so. And then the 26th to 30th, a little above average, 70s. It drops into 60s late in the week. And the low temperatures go up. It did rain a little bit on the 30th. I don't know how much Sky Harbor got, but here's December 3rd to the 7th of 2018. So there was a Pacific weather system that came in on the 6th, and that's why the temperature variance wasn't much temperature variance that day, because of the Pacific weather system, and it rained most of the day, mainly in the morning. It kind of cleared out in the afternoon, but it was still cloudy. So cold temperatures now, 60s and then low 40s. The coldest weather of the season, perhaps, in the fall and early winter of 2018. Not too bad, maybe slightly above average, as the normal high temperature starts to definitely dip in the 60s by then, but it does get cold though in the morning. See those low temperatures? And then the 17th to the 20th, which leads into Christmas break. Yes, the 20th got way above average, 75. That's about 10 degrees above average. But then, after winter break in 2019, January 8th to the 11th, it was a little above average, and it dropped to about average by the end of the week. And low temperatures were in the 40s to about 50. The next week, January 14th to the 18th, there was another storm system that came in on the 15th, and it brought nightly showers. So that's why there was not really much temperature variance. 12 degrees still, but that's still not a whole lot. There would be more temperature variance if it was dry air anyway. And then on the 16th, I started out with fog in the morning. And then the night of the 17th and early into the 18th, there was some light virga, which is considered rain that doesn't really reach the ground, that came in here. But otherwise, that's the reason that the temperature didn't really drop much on the 18th in the morning. Martin Luther King Day week, the 22nd to the 25th, it's getting below average a bit. And then low temperature is now getting to 30s. See that? So I definitely had to bundle up in the morning. Now, after the 28th to February 1st, get ready for some below average temperatures. Yep, you heard me correctly. This week was above average, and frankly on the 30th, that's why the low temperature was 55, was because of cloud cover. And that was pretty warm low temperature. But yeah, 70s for highs, 50s for lows. But watch this. A series of storm systems comes in February, bringing much below average temperatures. I think that they said that this is the third coldest February ever, or the third coldest February since a certain year, and I forgot what year that was, but I can double check. There was some light rain. I don't know how heavy. I don't think it was that heavy. That happened on the 4th and 5th as well. And then after that rainstorm comes in, much colder air came in as well. Well, on the 6th, you can see the high temperature was 56 and the low temperature was 42. That actually occurred at night. The low temperature in the morning was in the upper 40s, I think. So behind that storm system that came in that brought light rain showers, a very cold system came in, bringing windy conditions on the 6th. And then the 7th, no freeze warning, but very close to the criteria of a freeze warning on the 7th. They did advise us to cover all plants and bring pets indoors just in case, because some of the outlying locations had a freeze. And then It warmed up on the 8th bit. But then the 11th to the 15th, another week of unsettled weather. Only 59 for the high on the 11th, and then the 13th was a mostly cloudy day. The 14th, there was rain. That's Valentine's Day. There was heavy rain at times in the afternoon that day on the 14th, and it felt a little chilly because of that. All right, here you go. This is President's Day week. Well, the 18th isn't marked, all right? The 19th to the 22nd. After President's Day had some cold air and some guapo that fell in some parts of the valley, which is also known as ice or light snow, especially on top of the mountains on Veterans Day. Very cold air came in after that, and you can see high temperatures in the upper 50s, low temperatures in the 30s. Look at that one. There was a freeze warning that morning, and it was very cold, as you can see. Most spots had a freeze, even a little bit colder than that, so I had to definitely bundle up. And after that cold air came in, a major Pacific storm came in, bringing very cold temperatures, and Flagstaff, Arizona, 2 hours north of Phoenix, had 3 feet of snow. And North Scottsdale, which is a suburb of Phoenix, Arizona, had about 7 inches of snow. And Las Vegas, Nevada had about, I don't know, but they had snow as well, and they don't usually get snow either. So what happened was, it was around 48 degrees, 45 degrees for the low temperature in the morning, and that was all because of a storm system that came in, and cold weather came in. I may have to edit this part out. I was doing good. I might not have to edit much out of this one. So the low temperature happened before midnight of 40 degrees. And the high temperature happened before noon, I believe. And it was 54 degrees on February 21st. And heavy rain came down early in the morning in some parts of the valley, but it wasn't widespread yet. There was widespread rain in the afternoon, and it was only 46 degrees while it was raining in the afternoon on February 21st. And then in the nighttime, this is when the really cold rain hit. When it was 40 degrees, it was still raining. And then the 22nd of February, I woke up. I actually took a bus trip that day, and it was in the upper 30s, and it was light rain. I mean, you don't have to get much colder before it snows. So, yeah, places like just outskirts of town up north, I probably only had to drive about 30 minutes or something. Probably 30 minutes at most to see snow during this snow system. I mean, it was a cold one. Finally, this may feel like a heat wave for people in Phoenix. Look at this. As we're going into meteorological spring, high temperatures start to rebound to more spring-like temperatures finally. Yes, can you believe it? High temperatures go up to the 70s. Low temperatures start going up to the 50s. And now, the first full week of meteorological spring, we're finally above average. When was the last time I said that? And then temperatures go down, and then the second week, March 11th to the 15th, this is the week before spring break. It's cold again. Another storm system brought very cold air on the 12th. And behind that system, There was windy conditions when I woke up on the 13th and only 50 degrees. So that felt like, that's not really much below average. But there was a cold rain too, relative for March. It was only 51 degrees. I think that low temperature of 51 had happened in the afternoon around 12:30 or 1 p.m. It starts to rebound. Now spring break, and then after spring break, finally you can see some more spring-like weather here in Phoenix. 80s for highs, 50s for lows about. And then in April, you can start to see more warmer weather, but cooler mornings, which I still enjoy. Spring is actually my favorite season. So 80s for highs and mostly upper 50s, low 60s for lows. The heat came in on the 8th and the 9th. It was a bit above average. I didn't enjoy it, but then see what happens? A big plunge in temperatures that brought windy conditions. The day on the 10th brought gusty winds and mostly blowing dust in some parts of the deserts, most likely. It was very windy. Wind gusts went up to as high as 40 miles an hour at times that day, and then it stayed cooler than average after that storm system came in. And then the next week, the April 15th and the 19th, yes, it starts to warm up after the 17th. As you can see, the 16th, it rained after about 6:30 in the evening, and I went to a high school softball game that night on the 16th, and it started to rain. I know it was 82 for the high, but it dropped in the afternoon. It probably was more like upper 60s, mid 60s by the time I watched the game. So as the cold air came in, and then it heated up right after. It wasn't really all that pleasant. We just missed the first 100-degree day on April 19th of 2019. Now the following week, it gets hot at the end. The first 2 days was around average, but then see how it gets very hot. It gets up to 100 degrees. So that actually is the first 100-degree day of 2019. Right, going into May now. So April 29th to May 3rd, high temperatures were in the 80s and low temperatures in the 60s. Pretty relative. A little below average probably, but the 6th to the 10th, that's a little below average too. This is actually the coolest May since I was born. Not the coolest May on record, but the coolest May since I was born. So you're going to see some below average temperatures definitely this May in 2019. So it looks like 80s to about 90 for the highs, 60s for lows. And then the 13th to the 17th, see, there was a 100-degree day on May 15th. That's only the second 100-degree day of the year, as this pleasant spring had continued. And then look at the big plunge in temperatures. I mean, it was unbelievable how it can get this cool in May. And then the 16th brought very windy conditions. I was waiting for the bus after work and my hat blew off my head. Unfortunately, I don't have a video for that one, but that's exactly what happened. After that cold front came in, see how cool it got? 81, and then that's well below average, but look at these temperatures. This is the last week of school. It's supposed to be 96 for the high. That's the normal high temperature for May 22nd. And the normal low temperature is 70. Look at those cold temperatures. I woke up to some light showers on May 20th. And then Phoenix was between systems on the 23rd, but another cold system came in, causing the temperatures to drop again. And that's the last day of school. That is definitely way below average. Those are temperatures you should see in late March or early April as opposed to late May right there. Now, I know it's not on my list, but this is what happened the first day of summer break. This is summer break after the 22nd. The first day of summer break, temperatures dropped and plummeted, and it was 54 degrees for the low temperature on May 23rd. That had not happened for, I think since 2008 when it was a cold system coming in here then. But I enjoyed a very pleasant spring that in 2019. I would definitely be craving a spring like this again. I mean, it's unbelievable that the first day of summer break, students woke up to 54 degrees. And rain, too. It was raining outside. Well, also, one other known fact is that after that really cold air came in, it warmed up for the weekend, and then it got cooler again on Memorial Day, which is not on here. And the high temperature on Memorial Day of 2019 was only 79 degrees, and that was the coolest. That tied the coolest Memorial Day ever. So, definitely abnormally cool temperatures for May. And then, unfortunately, it has to get back to reality. A warming and drying trend happened after Memorial Day, heading into meteorological summer. And temperatures went up to about 100, 105. But that's still relative for this time of year that you're looking at right now. It ain't too bad. So I enjoyed it while it lasted in May. That's the good news. So that's going to be it for this edition of the weather history. Bye.